is up, guys? Digitalnex, and today we're watching another MSA, or previously known as MSA video. So let's just go ahead and jump right in.
I was born in a super rich family, and our mansion by the beach looked like a fairy tale castle. I used to play hide and seek in the garden maze with our maids, and my dad bought me a stunning white...
My favorite thing to do is hear how rich people suffer. My favorite thing is hearing about rich people's problems. My pony's leg ain't doing too hot. Oh, the maids, they found me so fast in the maze today. I felt like I couldn't do anything. Oh, the submarine is just so cramped. You know, just things like that I don't want to hear.
When I was in 4th grade, his company was accused of financial fraud. Dad managed to avoid being jailed, but we lost everything. After that, my parents argued every single day, and
my parents fought. They sold the pony, and all I got in return was a bottle of glue. You know, what am I supposed to do with this glue? You know, I think I know what the glue is for. And I'm even more sad now. My parents are arguing. We ain't got no money, no riz, no maids. I'm maidenless.
soon, they got divorced. Dad left us and never looked back, and I quickly made friends with kids in my new neighborhood. Although I enjoyed playing with them, I struggled to come up with ideas for games, so I preferred to follow the rest. One of the kids, Tom, was a natural leader. He often...
Us React content creators sometimes struggle with coming up with ideas as well, you know? You know, not much else to say. That's all I got to say about that, you know?
We all played outside till it was dark, and Tom often walked me back home, which was sweet. But over time, his behavior started to get strange. Me not to play with anyone else while he was gone. And I loved making friends and joking around with everyone, but it's...
Who's making you laugh, Sophie? Huh? Whose jokes are you laughing at? Did Steven say something funny? Steven's parents are divorced like yours. You shouldn't be laughing at him. Or with him. Who's making you laugh? I told you, don't play with anyone else except me. And here you are, sharing your toys and crayons with half the class. You promised me you'd only share your crayons with me, and I come back to this? Where's the trust, Sophie? It's out the window now, girl. Give me my sticker book back.
In middle school, a cute boy sent me a card on Valentine's Day saying, "You brighten my day," and it made me so happy. But the next day when I tried giving him a chocolate, he ran away terrified, like he'd seen a ghost. Of course, Tom was behind this. He'd turn up at my house whenever he pleased, and if I didn't talk to him, he'd just sit in my room for hours watching me.
Boys, girls, these are all red signs, something that you should not deal with right away. You know, my dude Tom giving off major icks, as my wife would like to say. Ew, you're giving me an ick. The Starbucks barista who told me, ew, that's an ick. And I said, ew, there goes your tip. Besides the point. I don't know, man. Seems a little possessive, if you know what I mean.
Once in high school, I decided to sneak out to a party late at night, but I was more worried about keeping it a secret from Tom than my own. Every single boy I asked to dance with me turned me down. Okay, can someone please explain what's going on? I'm pretty and cool, and yeah, pretty. Why don't you boys want to dance with me?
Excuse me, Miss Uggo, who said you were pretty? Did you just assume you were? It's kind of weird to assume that of yourself.
'Cause your boyfriend isn't gonna like it. I followed his sideway glance to see freaking Tom watching me from a corner. I'm your fiance. You accepted my proposal, remember? We were 9 years old. Listen, we are not dating or engaged. I should have stopped this nonsense a long time ago. But to be honest, I was a bit scared of Tom, but now...
For what? You got backed up all around that party. Were you scared? Don't be scared. Don't be scared of some dude named Tom. Especially a guy named Tom. What? Stand up for yourself, girl.
The next day, I asked the strongest guy in school to date me. It started out well, but on the 3rd day, my boyfriend disappeared. He broke up with me on the phone and didn't come to school. And soon, I heard he'd left the city.
What? What connections does Tom have? I need to know. Ain't no way this dude is connected like that. He just out of here. You see Jim Bro over there? Get him out of here. Not in my city. Not with my girl.
With Tom, I still cared about him, and he obviously needed help. Listen, Tom, you're my friend, and I think you really need therapy. You seem to be obsessed with me. But he didn't seem to get it, and I didn't know what to do anymore. Fortunately, Mom offered a temporary escape. Sophie, we've been invited to vacation anytime at this beautiful villa.
Or better yet, instead of running away from your problems, you file a restraining order, you know? Kind of crazy. No one told you anything about it. You've never heard that word before you're in high school. You know, you had heard some, legal jingo or jargon, whatever you want to call it, when your parents were getting a divorce.
The owner of the villa, Pierre, seemed to be only 5 to 6 years older than me. He'd inherited his father's business and was already a millionaire. As soon as he saw us, he smiled brightly and his gaze was fixed on me. We spent the whole day together enjoying his amazing place. He revealed to me that a year ago, he'd been in a terrible accident that had caused him amnesia.
I was in a horrible accident like you would never believe. I woke up and I just had millions of dollars in my bank account and I can't even remember how it got there. Can you believe how devastating that is? To wake up one day and just see millions in your bank account? It's horrible. I wouldn't wish that upon anyone. I wouldn't wish that upon my worst enemy. You know, what am I supposed to do with all that money? It's like a curse. It's always rich people, man. We always gotta hear about the rich people's problems.
Well, I'm glad you're fine now, but on the upside, it must have been good to forget bad things. Oh, trust me, there's nothing good about it, and it took a while to recover. Maybe faking amnesia was a bad idea, but it was the only shot I had at getting my life back. So the next day, I was busy looking for an opportunity to fall and act like I had amnesia.
You're gonna fake amnesia to leave a guy? That's your master plan? That's your, oh my gosh, my brain blast moment? That's what you're gonna do? Instead of just being like, hey, I'm okay. Why not tell the millionaire with amnesia to be like, hey, you wanna help me out? I got this crazy dude back home. He won't let me see anyone else. He thinks we're dating. He thinks we're engaged is the crazy thing. Why don't you help a girl out? Be my knight in shining armor.
Go horse riding. I chose the wildest horse named Terror. We went riding along the coast and watched a lovely sunset. I knew we'd be heading back soon, and I had to execute my plan now. I haven't ridden a horse in years. I remember I visited once, and you had the loveliest ivory pony.
She's like, oh, Buttercup. And she pulls out a little locket and it's just glue. She's like, I carry her everywhere I go. She's always with me. My little ivory pony's now a little Elmer's glue bottle. Her riding a horse named Terror is just as bad as my friend owning a dog named Daisy, devourer of children, okay? Can you guess what kind of dog it is?
What? Just then the horse reared up and I let go of the reins and fell to the ground. The world spun around me. The last thing I saw was Pierre's worried face before I blacked out. When I opened my eyes again, I found myself lying in a hospital bed. How do you feel? I don't know. What happened? Where am I?
Who there? Who are you? What's going on? Where's my glue bottle? Where's my pony at? Where is she? I need my comfort.
Yeah, so I pretended that I didn't remember life after I was 6. I didn't remember getting poor, or Dad leaving us, or any of my childhood friends. He begged us to stay at his villa so I could recover in peace, and Mom and I were pretty thrilled at the idea. Pretending to have amnesia, I acted like a child the first few days, which was quite funny. I did all sorts of silly things, like hiding in the garden and asking Pierre to find me. Then
no one thought it was a little sus that the guy who had this crazy amnesia story all of a sudden meets a girl who then gets amnesia just as well. No one thought that was sus at all. We're just like, we're gonna ignore that key factor.
And I really got to know him better. His eyes lit up when he talked about how his company was helping build schools for kids in Africa, where he went often. Pierre was the complete opposite of Tom. He was kind and gentle, and being around him, I felt safe. And I knew I was
being around this amazing person. I felt super safe because I knew that I was taking full advantage of him. I was taking full advantage of the situation I was in. And in fact, I'm the horrible person, but guess what? I may be a horrible person. This is my story animated. So that means I get a my story animated happy ending. That's right. I may be bad, but my ending isn't.
really falling for him, but the guilt of lying about my amnesia was eating away at me. I have to tell him the truth eventually, but would he forgive me? A few weeks later, the doctor said I seemed well, but my memory would take time to return. I'd already missed a lot of school, so Mom and I decided to go back. Pierre had to deal with some business abroad, but he promised to visit us soon. And when we got home, Tom appeared at our door in 5 minutes. Where have you been? Why did you leave without saying a word? How could you not reply to me?
Who are you? What are you doing in my house? Get out! First of all, yeah, Who are you? Second of all, I don't know you. Third of all, who are you again? And why are you yelling at me? How did you open the door?
Mom told him everything about my amnesia, and Tom was shocked. Then he got angry and refused to believe Mom, but she firmly told him not to stress me out and leave our house. The next day at school, everyone found out about my amnesia and asked me stupid questions, like if I still remembered how to read or write. Tom followed me around, watching me.
Why you follow me, bro? It's a little weird. That's a red flag and an ick if I had to say so, you know?
How could you forget me? I've loved you since we were 9. I've been by your side every day since. How could all that just disappear? No, I refuse to accept that. I'll remind you of every memory till it comes back to you. He grabbed me by the arms and I started to panic.
Help! Help! Red flag alert! Red flag alert! Ladies, assemble, please! You know, and then a swarm of women just come and defend her. Because that's how we have to be as a society. We gotta come to the rescue instead of whipping our phones out and being like, this is gonna be a crazy TikTok, I'm gonna get tons of views. We gotta protect our kind.
Please help me. Some people watching the whole scene called the police, and the police ordered a restraining order against Tom. After that, Tom kept his distance, but I could still feel his eyes on me from the shadows. My only hope was to graduate and leave this place and Tom behind soon.
I can smell you. What did I say? Get a restraining order. Then that's not going too far. This dude's being weird and obsessive. And, you know, a little bit of possessive as well. No, possessive, same thing. Anyway, you know, he's being weird. You should have got a restraining order a long time ago, and you wouldn't have had to fake this whole amnesia thing. You're only doing more damage to him by letting this continue. It's as easy as that.
I was looking for something to occupy myself and decided to sign up as a volunteer with some friends at the Nice Carnival, a major music event raising funds for charity. As soon as we were done setting up the sound system on the stage, the announcer stepped up to the mic. I'd like everyone to welcome up our generous sponsor.
Oh, let me guess. It's Pierre. What carnival did you go to? I went to the Nice Carnival. I bet it was. What was it called? No, it was Nice. What was the name of the carnival? The Nice Carnival! It was called the Nice Carnival. Not only was it nice, it was called nice. Okay? I don't know what more you want from me.
Mr. Pierre with his lovely fiancée, Beth.
Ooh!
My blood sank to my toes when I saw Pierre step on stage with a beautiful brunette on his arm. As he spoke a few words, I couldn't stop staring at them. When I was far enough, I sat on some porch and just cried. I had no right to be mad at Pierre since I was a liar and
True! You absolutely had no right to, you know, be mad at him. You don't. That guy who I faked an amnesia and wasted all his time and resources, and he was super nice to me even though I was lying and I stole his idea. How dare he not fall in love with me? How dare he? How dare he have options? Shame on him.
Sophie, can I sit near you? Yes, Tom. That guy on stage, I saw how you looked at him. You're in love with him, aren't you? Suddenly, I just broke down and told him everything. How I'd been scared of him and faked my amnesia. But caring about someone doesn't mean not respecting their boundaries, and you can't force someone to love you back. You can't.
What are you talking about, Sophie? Yes, I can. I can do that. So, Sophie, you said you never called me crazy. I heard you mention crazy. I was crazy once. They locked me in a room, Sophie. A rubber room with rats. And rats make me crazy. Crazy? I was crazy once. They locked me in a room. A rubber room with rats. And rats make me crazy. Crazy? I was crazy once.
You need to learn to let go and move on. Tom promised that he'd try therapy, and I felt like someday we could be friends again. Pierre's calls and texts were endless, but I refused to answer them. But one day, a strange sound caught my attention. It was a helicopter landing in the fields behind our house, and
Please don't let her get a happy ending. Do not let this girl get a happy ending, MSA. I'm begging you, just let her be humbled for the rest of her life. Please! Oh, that was my twin brother. I don't know.
Pierre came out of it. What are you doing here, Pierre? Fighting for the love of my life. That's you, in case it wasn't clear. Those are strange words for a man with a fiancée. Please, I just need a few minutes to explain. Pierre then told me that his dad had laid a condition on him to find a girl to marry before he could take over the family business. But the pressure to settle on a date for marriage had been too much for him, and he'd escaped to his family villa for a break. That's when I met—
This reminds me of Business Proposal. I love K-dramas. Don't give this girl a happy ending! doesn't need it!
No, I should have answered your text or told you earlier, but I was scared of losing you. I wanted to explain everything after it was over. Pierre, I don't know what to say. Say you'll forgive me, Sophie, and give me a chance to make it up to you. Before that, I need to tell you something too, and you may not want to talk to me after this. I told him the plain truth about Tom.
Listen, I'm gonna be straight up honest with you. How many people would refuse? Okay, let's say a billionaire of your choosing came up to you. You know, they're your dream person, right? And they came up to you and they're like, hey, listen, I want to be upfront with you. My father wants me to marry before I can take over the family business, you know? And I don't know if you're okay with that. You know, I really want to work on us. I want us to be happy. You know, I want this to be real. I just don't want this. Yes. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, you want to get married right now? It's only like 5. It's 5 p.m. We got plenty of time. Where you want to go get married at? You know? Who's gonna say no?
Is that stalker still bothering you? No, I've dealt with it. He's going to get therapy. And wait, why are you laughing? I can't believe you put on an act for weeks. You should look into a career as an actress. We both burst out laughing like crazy. When we finally caught our breath, he took my hand and kissed me.
Oh my gosh, you guys, the girl who lied about everything gets a happy ending. That's absolutely amazing. I am so happy for her. Not really though, that's horrible. Bad ending, I don't agree. Anyways, you guys, that is it for today's video. Make sure you hit that like button and to subscribe and turn on the little bell for notifications so you know when I go live or I post a new video, and I will see you all in the next one. Hey guys.